Okay, part 3.
Sure, the city marshals may be gone, but now the fort's crawling with windbags. Wham! Kid's ready for the windbags this time. Calamity was mercy, normal folks. The windbags ain't so lucky. They've been left to freeze, or starve, or face the kid. Well, windbags young and old keep fighting for the fort. At least the marshals left the kid a parting gift. Something the windbags just can't handle. Something that'll punch clean through their greasy hides. Windbags ain't much different from normal folks. All they want's a warm place to stay and a decent meal.
Okay, narrator's done talking. I'm going to talk about this shotgun. Pretty good. I like it for kind of early mid-game. If you're doing a lot of gods, it kind of falls off, but good coverage. And you can make it more narrow or more wide to hit whatever you're trying to deal with. And its final talent or capstone is to double shot. So it hits twice. It's pretty good against small enemies again, but larger enemies, it's still not packing enough punch to really kill them. And later on, you'll deal with auto shield, auto reflective of stuff.
The Calamity drove the windbags topside. A lot of them wound up here in this very fort.
But it makes quick work of these guys. Get swarmed by them. There's something over here. Let's double check. Oh, I did.
Could have been minding the business underground like in the old days. Windbags can't use martial supplies, but the kid sure can.
Gonna switch it up here. We're gonna go full projectile explosive here.
As for the windbags, Cinder Brick gave them enough heat and metal to munch on for a while. Well, the fort ain't theirs by right. Can't blame them for wanting it, though. So many of those sorry things holed up inside that old fort.
Took me a longer time than I want to admit to realize that you could block certain enemies, such as the spinning guys.
Not a scratch on him as he presses on the higher ground.
Sure I didn't miss anything over here. Okay.
He's blasting everything in sight with that newfangled musket. Times like this, kid's glad he packed trip mines. Security's plane gone haywire. Windbags gummed up the works. Kid ain't afraid to get burned. They trapped the kid in the middle of the force parade grounds. Then they bring out Glutus and Glandon and all their scumbag uncles. They got something to gain, and only their sorry hides. The uncles go out with a whimper. Kid takes down Glutus. Maybe it was Glandon. The windbags finally get the message. Kid used to dream of getting a marshal's badge, but not like this. The skyways a welcome sight after all that. And now ain't nothing left for nobody down at Cinderbrick Fort. Kid shows up just as Zolf's telling me about his own journey to the city. It seems the only thing the Calamity saved for Zolf was his smoking pipe. The marshals seem like good men, he says. They treated him with dignity. Zolf brought his antique smoking pipe all the way from the terminals. Even since the Urus surrendered to us, the marshals kept a wary eye on him. tune a scrap musket, you start with the barrel. Fetching fizz is like a mouthful of nails, but the benefits are worth it. Finders keepers.
Okay. So this is the first dream. There's 4. They added one in a little free DLC at one point. So there's the kid's dream, there's this guy's dream, Survivor. There's Ruck's dream, and then there's Zia's dream. We haven't found Zia yet. Will be soon. So I'm not going to do the dreams right away. I'll do those probably as separate videos, maybe even showcasing a different profile. We'll see. I've done each of the dreams or achievements, 10 idols active. They are hard, to say the least. Took me multiple tries just to get one of the early dreams, the kid's dream, on 8 idols. And then when I went to New Game Plus, it took a few tries to get other dreams on 8 idols. Then I upgraded to 10. And one of the last 2 is that enemies will fade out when they take damage, and then they'll just kind of stay faded. It's rough. Enemies will heal from another god, so while they're faded, they're healing. So it comes down to a lot of burst damage, and I do mean a lot of burst damage. So high level crits, the pike that you can get later is definitely the best weapon for this. It can crit for 200% bonus. It has a relatively large crit chance as well, and then of course you can run different drinks for more crit chance. Then the Army Carbine, which we haven't found yet, it also is one of my favorites. It has a power shot mechanic where if you time it just right, and eventually kind of becomes muscle memory. But if you time it just right, you get a power shot, which gives like a 15% bonus to damage. But then the power shot itself can also crit. So you'll occasionally go from dealing 50 or 60 damage to 112 or so, 130. Which in a lot of circumstances could be the difference of popping something instantly or not. One of the idols, though, is of course the reflection idol. So you can charge up your power shot and have it just reflected into the wall, basically. It's uncommon to actually be hit by the reflections. I have been hit by them, but it's pretty uncommon. So. I am going to upgrade the shotgun a little further if I can. Not sure if I have the money. I do not have the money, I'm just shy.
Doesn't hurt having a couple of trusty old guns on hand.
Oh.
Zolf's travels ain't much compared to what the kids had to go through for all this.
So the memorial gives little quests that give you money. This should give me one right away.
The memorial. Here a kid can pay respect to the old world and earn it in kind. The valediction. Just another one of my sketches. Nothing more.
And now we have enough money. Good stuff.
Marshals learned to pack those shells full of fire. The Langston River flowed free and wild till the calamity drank it all up. Maybe all that water just grew wings and flew off. Riverbanks swarming with windbags. They're so bent on finding the core, they hardly noticed the kid. Lucky for him, a certain famous ferry barge is still afloat. She'll send some squirts crying home as she leaves port. Maybe Nellie knows the way to the core. Maybe she can slip right past all the clamor on the coast. Or maybe not. A security skiff pulls up portside. Nellie's just another windbag to those guns. Just then, the windbags notice who she's sailing with. They try to cut her off. They try to slow her down. They try to knock her out. Well, Weepin' Nellie tries harder. Try as she might, though, she hits a snag. The kid's gotta help her get untangled. Favors for favors. At least she picked a good spot for a break, because the core's right there. Then the kid hears an unusual sound, like 100 flapping wings. Peckers. They had their own eyes on the core. But why? Well, kid ain't got time to think it over just yet. Finds Weepin' Nellie raring to go. Turns out she's got a special surprise for when the waters get rough. She's gonna need a little help with all them peckers. Traffic things think they're king of the roost now. Rest of us only wish we could fly in times like these. Security skiffs keep on coming, starboard side. Don't seem to care what they shoot, as long as they hit something. Windbags getting even better than this. They aim to smash Weepin' Nellie to splinters. Well, it all proves too much for poor Nellie. gets the kid to solid ground. Solid ground in Picker country. They want that core real bad. Seems the calamity ain't hurt the Pickers' appetites. Might be they want it just as bad as a kid. Kid shoes him off, knowing they'll be back. Know how many times kid nearly fell off a barge back there? 3 times. Now, listen close. You should remember this next. Why go to Prosper Bluff? Used to take an enterprising man or a plain old fool to venture out that far. The city was the most beautiful place in the world. We all knew that. But on the other hand, some folks just yearn to see the things they're told they can't. And that's why you go to Prosper Bluff, ain't it? There the kid hears something he ain't heard in a long while. How's it go again? Yeah, that's the one. Well, no point explaining what happens next, right? Suffice it to say, kid ain't coming home empty-handed. And besides, it's like the song goes. They'll be here before too long. We darn near celebrated when the kid got back, didn't we? Zolf never thought he'd see a fellow or again. We become fast friends. Calamity has that effect on But there was more to be done. There was one last core to find. Kid's surprised when I tell him there's only one core left. I shouldn't have believed it either.
And now we can build the shrine.
Behold, the Pantheon. A Kobe. The gods never liked competing for people's affections. The trappers, daring bunch of fools. They'll be missed. Most of the Ura never got a taste of Caelondia's fine goods, unless they were born and raised in the city like Zia here. Sure, the world's all gone to pieces farther than the eye can see, but leave it to this gal to point out the amazing view. Girl tried to run away from home one time, but the marshals stopped that, didn't they? So many secrets in there and she can't even read it. Her father's own journal. If only I'd known half the secrets of the Calamity were tucked away in that book, I'd have worked to translate it right away. A scientific journal written in Zolf's native tongue. He learned so much from it. Too much. It wasn't fixed. It was unbroken. Henson. Javel.
So the gods so far that we have. This doubles attack damage of enemies. This causes a little grenade to fall off of enemies when they die. This causes enemies to move twice as fast and attack twice as fast. Then this gives enemies double health. So, it's gonna get a little bit trickier.
Stay absinthe is like drinking a cool breeze. Just don't go spitting needles everywhere.
I don't have a lot of drink slots yet, and I don't have a lot of the later game drinks. So now that we have found the so-called final core, there will be a hunt for shards that will allow us to upgrade each building individually. So kind of a repeat of everything. So 6 shards for 6 buildings. And each time you upgrade a building, you unlock something new. So for the shrine, you'll unlock 4 more gods. You can get a maximum of 8 gods in normal. And then for the memorial, you'll upgrade and get a bunch of these challenges. As a note, these challenges can be completed even if you like fail a mission, or if you go into one of the dreams and just try to manipulate it. You can also do it in the challenges, individual weapon challenges. Weapon challenges themselves, I highly recommend leveling up your weapons at least to like 1 or 2, typically. You'll always get, just for attempting or completing, like you do have to complete, so completing a challenge for a weapon will always give you an upgrade item for that weapon. You'll still need money to actually upgrade it, but that's one way to be able to get first place instead of third place if you're struggling. And early game, I feel a lot of those are kind of tricky because you need just that 1 or 2 upgrades to get maybe more damage or reload speed. A lot of these are timed or positional or something in a way that you want to have those upgrades to just clean up one of the weaknesses of a given weapon. Like for example, I only have 2 upgrades on this. 50% damage is great, but faster attack speed could be good too, but the wider attack spread isn't great. Later on, the final capstone for this weapon, Fang Repeater, one of the options is that bolts home in on enemies, and so if you have a wide fire spread, that's kind of offset by the homing. So little things like that. You probably don't want that in the challenge. You want to have a little bit more accuracy for a lot of the challenges. So we are at 31 minutes. So I am going to stop the recording here.